So as you can see, there is now just an absolute spread of creepers flying through the sky. Hey guys, what's up? It's Tofu Doge back again with another Minecraft video, and today we're going to actually be doing something a bit special. Today we're going to be looking at a few commands that I've been creating over the past few months. So this is going to be a part 1 of 2. The other one is going to only compose of one project, however it is very big. And here we have a bunch of small ones that I've just compiled together to make a video. So these are just going to give you a variety of different items, some of which are pretty vanilla, but just have special enchants such as like sharpness 1000, looting 1000, and stuff that you can really use to mess around with your world. Others, however, are custom coded or have special things that they can do that are nowhere near the vanilla game. Now, as for purposes, these can be used either for just to clean up your world, destroy it, or, my personal favorite, just to mess around with friends and stuff on multiplayer servers. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first item that we're going to be taking a look at is the crossbow, which is this command. If any of you guys want to pause the video, you can take a look. But, of course, all of these commands are going to be in the description of the video, so don't worry. If you want to try this out for yourself in your own world, feel free to do that, because they will all be available. Okay, so pretty much what this is going to do is it's going to put quick charge 5 onto a crossbow, and you would think that, why stop at 5? Go to 1000 or something. Well, if you actually go to 1000, it doesn't actually load, so quick charge 5 is the highest you can go, but even at that, you can click once and it will load the crossbow. So, if you set up an auto clicker or you're just naturally gifted with high clicks per second, you can rapid fire it, and it's pretty much a machine gun. And this gets even better if you equip a firework rocket in your offhand. So now, you can have a rocket machine gun, which in my opinion is very fun. And as you can probably expect, yes, this does do damage. So you have a pretty much rapid fire RPG at your disposal, which is always very fun. So the next item we're going to be taking a look at is custom named the Loot Snatcher by me, where pretty much it kind of does as you can imagine as looting 1000, meaning that when you kill a mob, instead of jumping like 2 to 3 rotten flesh, it drops a bit more than 2 or 3. More like 2 or 3 stacks. So this can be very fun to break your game by sending it to absurd levels. And if you want to change this, if you want to change the level and make it higher or lower in any of these commands, you can just change the number. I would say for looting and fortune, I haven't tested it above 10,000. However, I don't believe it will work as well under those circumstances, so I keep it around there. Okay, so next up, next up we're gonna have the super sharp sword. Once again, sharpness level 10,000, and yeah, it just one-shots everything. Over here we have a wither, just to show you how ultimately powerful this thing is. Let's just see how many hits it takes to get rid of a wither. You can probably expect that it only takes 1. So that to say the least is probably one of the more overpowered items on this list. However, it's not the most overpowered. So next up, we have the 2 pickaxes, the Lucky Pick and what I like to call the Giga Driller. And as you can imagine, they pretty much do what you can expect. This one has efficiency 1000, this one has fortune 10,000. So let's start off with the efficiency. As you can see, it just insta-mines. So you can go mine for diamonds, destroy your world, get some of that nasty world generation out of your way for your big builds or stuff like that if you don't want to use like fill commands. And then of course, here we go with a few more diamond ore, and as you can see, if we break it now, you see that one gave you a solid 4 stacks, so it's all about luck when it comes to this. Now, I can see how this can be This can run out of durability very quickly. As you can see, I only mined a few blocks. It's already 30 durability down. So I will be including an Unbreakable version in the description if you would like that instead. And with that, we should move on to our next item. Okay, so the next thing on our list is the fire stick. Now, you might be thinking, well, it's only fire aspect. What can fire aspect do that's so special? So this is one of the troll weapons. You see, when you hit anything with it, it will light on fire. But to someone who doesn't know about the rules of fire aspect, they would think that if they can just wait it out, just wait out until it burns itself out. However, the higher the fire aspect enchantment, the longer they will burn. So at fire aspect level 1000, they will be burning for a few hours. So unless they have a water bucket or any water nearby, they're pretty much out of luck and they are slowly gonna burn to death. Which is, in my opinion, very funny. So I believe that is it as far as our custom enchantment items go. So now we actually get to the very fun stuff. And that is going to be the Time Stopper, the Down Rock, the Gravity Gun, and the Up Rock. Now before I get into these, there is something that I'm going to note. So number one, you see name equals exclamation mark, and then these are a few of my friends' names, including my own. If you don't want to be affected by any of these weapons, you can do in this area. It's right after the run TP, or after this, when you see the selection, you can change a few things in here. You can change the distance in which this will be affected. You can add a limit to how many entities it should be affected at a time. For example, you could put in 1. I think I might already have this in this command block. Yeah. So you can change the distance in which entities are affected, and you can change if entities are affected at all. So here I made it so that all players are not affected. However, of course you're going to want to mess around with some players. So what you can do is you can get rid of this part of the command, and you could just input names of people that you don't want to be affected. So let's say your friend named Jerry you don't want him to be affected. He's going to be an admin with you. So you can do name equals not, the exclamation mark means not, and then Jerry, and then that will make sure that Jerry isn't affected. So for a few of these, I'll be able to disable them like that, but for some of them, I took out my name. For example, this one, because it's hard to show otherwise. This is post-editing Tofudo speaking. One thing I forgot to mention in this video was that in order for the last 4 items to work, you actually need to not only have the correct item as showcased, but also you have to have the correct name. So for example, you have to have a nether star named Time Stopper for that to work. You have to have a broomstand named Gravity Gun. Just a little side note that I know might confuse a lot of people. So without further ado, let's get into these 4 items. So these do some pretty crazy stuff. And this is actually a good accidental showcase of our first item, which is the Up Rock. Pretty much I've made it so that all entities nearby will be given levitation. Pretty much meaning that not only can they not fall to their death, but they will fly into the air until they get out of your radius, out of your whatever radius you set. So if you want to be especially mean, you can set that radius to like 1,000 blocks so that they can never escape, and they'll always just be flying in the air. So that's enough for now, and let's see if I can. Well, I tried. So next up on our list is going to be the Gravity Gun. This is by far one of my favorites. So as you can see, just by holding it, you can pick up any mob or any entity and just play with it. You can throw it into the ground, You can do whatever you want. It is now all in your control. One thing to note about this one, however, is it is very buggy when it comes to players, and it might accidentally kill them. For some reason, if you try and put them back onto the ground, they die of fall damage. So just be careful when using this around players. Exactly. Okay, now a good example of this is if I flick this lever. And yeah. So right now I have a repeating command block that is summoning creepers. And what this is doing is it's giving me about 60 or 70 or like a few hundred creepers. So now if I can turn this off, as you can see, with a few extra commands, stuff really starts to hit the fan. Now, you might be saying, oh, but what can I do with them? I don't want these to fall onto all my friends below. And that's where the time stopper comes in. All you have to do is hold it, and boom. Every entity between a specified amount of blocks is frozen in air. This can be applied to players, so you can have your friend jump off a cliff and freeze in midair, which looks very cool. And it is applied to all entities. So as you can see, there is now just an absolute spread of creepers flying through the sky like it's nobody's business. And then once you're ready for them, once you think they've had enough, you can drop them, and boom, they're all dead. Now I'm just gonna clean this up quickly. We'll get on to the final item. Well, now on to our final item, which is called the down rock. So, I know I'm very creative with names. So this down rock is going to do a few things. Number one, it is going to piss off all of your friends. And number two, it is going to disable the ability for them to jump. Now you might be wondering, how is this possible? Well, let me just show you. So for this one, I've been forced to take my name off of the whitelist, because just for the plain reason that it doesn't work on mobs, so I would need a player to test it. Now, if you can hear on my keyboard, I'm pressing space and nothing is happening. I'm not going up. This will completely disable your ability to jump unless you have slabs like this bed, ladders, or a water bucket to swim up. If they don't have any of that, they are completely trapped. They have no way to go anywhere. However, since I am a creative, I can still fly, so it doesn't really apply to me. But if I'm just trying to jump, and I'll go into game mode survival to show you too, I cannot jump. I cannot jump no matter what. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please feel free to smash that like button. It helps out the channel a ton. And if you want to see more of my content, please smack that subscribe button and leave a comment below if you do enjoy this type of content, as I do have a very, very special project for my next video on of this type. And with that, that will be all for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!